Hello, I'm Helen. Welcome to Entrepreneur Smart and my video blog on royalty-free images. Visual content nowadays is very important. We all want engagement and traffic to our websites, and this is so much more successful if we use great relevant images to get attention. This is one that's on my website. I wrote a blog about wealthy affiliates, whether it was a scam or for real, and decided I would use a really crisp, clean image, mountainous, fresh, to catch attention, which I think it does. I've written another article about creating online training, and this image is a vector. So I was able to take it into Illustrator and change it around so that it suited what I wanted to do. But we'll come to that later. And drop shipping. Drop shipping, straight off, see what it is. Nice, fresh, crisp colours. And if you're interested in drop shipping, it's going to draw you in. That's the whole plan. So platforms like Pinterest thrive on great visuals. But I don't think that you just have to have a product to sell. I think you can feature there with a product, a service or concept. They're all jockeying for space, but with just a little imagination, it's easy to illustrate them too. This one, backpacking, jumps straight out. Really great banners, very interesting images, nice bold headline, 19 beginner backpacking tips, 21 items to keep in your kit. Really great visuals that are going to make you want to go and have a look. This one, yeah, really fascinating. You're going to go and have a look at that for sure if you're interested in backpacking. I've started doing my own Pinterest presence. This is mine, only started a few weeks ago, so not many posts. Same size banners so that I fit in with the standard sizes on Pinterest, so they're more likely to get seen. Nice, bright, bold colours, ones that are going to stand out, but the visual has to be a nice, interesting image so that you're going to stand out from the crowd. Using nice, bold colours in my writing as well, so that they stand out and get picked out from what is going to be a very busy page for this sort of thing. But it's my starting and I've had some interest from them, so that's great. But I'm going to show you how to find important images, free images, totally free and safe for you to use without worrying about copyright. The problem is that unless you're an avid photographer, you're not likely to have a stash of photos to use. So we have to find them online. And just about every photograph and image online is copyrighted. The creators protect them. They put copyrights on them. And it can be very expensive. Now, it's fine if you only need a couple every few months. And there are plenty of websites such as this one, Dreamstime, where you can go and purchase them. The prices are not cheap. I'll just nip over to... let's say I'm going to download this. It's going to let me download it, but I've no balance, so I'm going to have to pay for it. And the costs, you're paying about €35 for around 10 images. That's a lot of money if you're going to be wanting loads of photographs, which if you're writing blogs and you're wanting to build up your website, you're going to need a lot of images. And they're protected. This... over the top of the image isn't going to disappear until you've paid for it. So Dreamstime is great if you've got money that you can pay for to get decent images to illustrate your blogs. But you can get free ones from places like Dreamstime. If you sign up, they'll give you a free week, but you have to remember to cancel it before the week is up, otherwise they'll charge you and it's not cheap. So Stock Unlimited is another place to go if you want a really important image. But you can also find royalty-free ones by a little bit of a search on Google. So hopping over to Google, put in what you're looking for. I've put trees in. Go to images, and if you go along to tools, you can go to usage rights and click on usage rights, and they give you a choice of what kind of usage you're going to use. So if you're going to reuse it, which we want to, you need the label for reuse. You might be using one for non-commercial reuse. That's fine, but you can't put it on your website then. So label for reuse, and click on that, and these images will come up. The choice is more restrictive, and if you're looking for something particular, the chances are you're not going to find it just by searching on Google. And in any case, some of these images may actually not have come from where you think they might have done, and they might be restricted, and you could end up being an innocent bystander of a copyright issue, which is not where you want to be. You can do a little bit further searching by clicking on settings and going down to advanced search, filling all this in. It gives you more of a search, more of a detailed search to find free images. Again, it pops up many of the very similar ones, which aren't really, what I may be looking for. You can still get some vectors here as well. So that's Google Filters. That's one way of doing it. Another way is by using Adobe Illustrator. It's great for illustrations. It's quite a learning curve. If I nip over to my Illustrator, I can bring in vector images here and change them. I can change the size, really do what I want to do with them. I don't profess to know everything about Illustrator, but I've enough skills to be able to draw interesting diagrams and simple drawings, and I've got really good at altering free vector drawings to how I want them to look. But as I said, it is a learning curve if you want to learn Illustrator. I learnt using lynda.com, and it took me probably a month of doing maybe 2 or 3 hours a day to get quite proficient at it. So if you've got the time, it's really going to help you in the long run. But if you haven't, then let's nip back and see what else we can do. So what you could do is go over to somewhere like Pixabay or FreePix. Let me have a look here. Pixabay, Unsplash, PicJumbo. I'll come back to this image in a minute, but they're some of the main ones. There are a few things that you do need to remember about when you're looking at these images. And that's the fact that whilst they may be free, there are certain rules that go along with it. So some of them may be attributed, which means that you've got to put the name and the website where the image came from next to the image you're using on your website. And I found this is a bit intrusive. It's adding extra verbiage to my website, to my blog, and I prefer to keep it unfettered and without the extraneous added verbiage onto the blog. It does reduce the choices a little bit, but it's not that bad. And many of them are unattributed, and that's the ones that I look for in particular, and I'll show you that in a minute. Some will have Creative Commons, and they're just free images that people have put on the website that are just giving you complete freedom to use. It might say it's standard, and this is another way that websites give permission. Some give you extended allowances, so you can use it for reprints or digital reuse, but you usually find there is a charge for that, so be prepared for that. Of course, there are certain exclusions, and this would be for any image that you would be using that you've been given permission to use, that you can't sell it, you can't create obscene or defamatory images from it, or use it as a logo, or infringe the intellectual property rights. So those are things to take notice of. So I'm going to nip it over here to Pixabay, and Pixabay have amazing images. This is a fantastic image of a bike. Amazing. Let me just click off this. And you can see here the license that Pixabay give is free for commercial use, and the no attribution is required. It will tell you here what you need to do. You do need an account on Pixabay, so they need to know who you are. They don't charge you for them. It is more restricted, but they're free. So what can I say? It's something you don't have to pay for. You might want images. You can have photos, vector graphics. Let's look for a street scene with a vector graphic here. So I could take some of these into Illustrator and I could change them around depending on how I wanted it to look. But if you just look up here at the top, you'll see it does put some images from Shutterstock. Now, if you click on these, you'll have to pay for it. It's not going to be free. And I find this a bit annoying at times because I'll look on here not realising that it's Shutterstock, because there may be 2 or 3 rows of Shutterstock images, and I'll fall in love with one of them and know that I'm going to have to pay for it if I really want it. So I'm aware of that, and I usually just scroll down until I get to the free vector graphics, and then I can go from here, which is much better. So if I click back onto my blog here and look at these royalty-free websites, these are places you can go to get free images. They do have certain caveats. So that PicJumbo, you need to check the frequently asked questions so you're up to date with their specific terms. Free Pexels, they're outdoor type images. Canva's slightly different because it's a poster style tool, so you can make some great posters there, but it also offers free images that you can use as well. RawPixel, great resource for designers, so I'm just going to leave that there for you for a minute or two to have a look at so you can see exactly ones that I would recommend you try out. They're all free, and you can really let yourself go. It's as simple as that. And the last thing here, if you really can't find an image, there's just no picture that will quite say what you want it to say, I've used a tool here, and this is free. You can just put in any words you like into any shapes with any colour background and create your own image for your website blog. This one I was doing about nurses and paramedic training. And I put in all the words that I wanted, the colours that I wanted to use, the background that I wanted to create that eye-catching image, and that's what it created for me. So there we go. Thanks very much for listening. Bye.